and we have just started round 2, and you'll see it's going to be an exciting heat. I'm really looking forward to this one. You've got two of the the young guns of the tour, and in my eyes, some of the more exciting talents on tour. Terry, we've got Jared Houston and Jake Stone, both 21 years of age, both explosive riders, and everybody's talking about them. And these guys are the future, and they've got a good little rivalry going too. So let's see what they can produce. But again, they both started their first round with a win. They're on form. They're feeling good. And it's just going to be fascinating to see those down. And we can't forget the two locals.
No, that's right, mate. So very exciting stuff, folks. We are into heat number 1. Round number 2 now of this GSS leaderboard. Of course, 3 rounds of competition. The competitors are awarded points for the place that they finish in the heat. 6 for first, 4 for second, 2 for third, and 1 point for fourth. If you go to the leaderboard, of course, underneath the live webcast at ibaworldtour.com/live, if you happen to be watching there, you will be able to see the leaderboard and how it plays out after this first round of competition. So very exciting stuff. You can see the conditions out the front there. A lot of white horses out the back, Greg. A bit of chop. But on the actual wave face, it's a kind of a strange wind here. It's more of a cross offshore wind. So the wave face is still pretty clean, but it does make the peaks a little random and a little tricky to kind of pick the good ones.
Yeah, no, for sure, Terry. It's a fun wave. It's very contestable, but it's also very tricky as well. And we spoke about, it's not necessarily the set waves you want. You're just looking for those waves that come on square, present a good section, and where you can get the maximum points. And speaking to the riders, they find it tough. There's a lot of water moving. They've got to get out there. It's very windy. It's hard to hear the announcer from the beach, and there's throw in all the additional pressure that comes with being a top 6 of the world tour and all the valuable points on offer. It's a tough day at the office, but look like we've got some action here. And it's the local boy, Emanuele Caro, Manu they call him, and he's a perfect gentleman, this guy, and he can ride. He starts with a nice ARS, and you can hear the local crowd going wild here. And he's a real talent. He surfed extremely well through the trials, and he's showing his form here. He opens up with a nice ARS move, and the judges will reward that. And straight away, Jared and Jake have got to return fire.
Well, this is going to be very interesting indeed, folks. We're going to dig back into the hard drive, I do believe, and have a look at the replay of that previous ride. And here it is here for Emanuele. Of course, Emanuele Caro, our Reunion Island local. You can see him just stalling there, trying to get himself right in the pocket. Nice use of the rail. Punched out the good ARS right in the pocket. So pretty critical stuff. And, he's really, establishing himself as one of the new crew coming through this wonderful little part of the world. Judges are very careful at the opening parts of the heat, Greg. Of course, you've got to be careful with those first scores because you want to, set the scoring scale correctly for the heat. So they usually like to really think about that first wave. Sometimes they even like for a second ride to lock in before they score the first one so they can compare it and set that level at a nice level straight off the bat.
Well, it looks like they've made the decision, Terry, in a 5.5 for the first ride of Emanuele Caro, or Manu, as they call him here locally. And but looks like we have in the white Jake Stone picking off a right, which have been very few and far between, but unfortunately doesn't present scoring potential for Jake Stone. But it's interesting watching those right-handers, Terry. The cross-shore wind really opens them up and creates some great ramps. And we saw in the earlier heats a couple of the South African boys hit those ramps and get rewarded for it. But as at the moment, the current heat leaders, the man in yellow, Emanuele Caro, and he's at the local island, Reunion Island local, sorry, and he's a great guy, Terry. You would have seen him walking around the contest area smiling the whole time. He came and picked us up from the airport. He's just, he's a legend.
Yeah, there are some really great bodyboarders in this part of the world, and they're all great guys as well. They love life over here. Okay, so he's got a 5.5. Jake Stone's got a 1.0. Greg, I just was having a bit of a chat to Manny Vargas through the window here. Manny's just outside, and he told me that, of course, it was Alex Arunga actually hit the reef during that last heat, and he's going to need stitches on his face, on his nose, and on his chin. Oh. So he's going to take off and he's going to get stitched up. But I tell you what, this kid's got some battle scars, hasn't he? I mean, he had the bung shoulder, and now he's headbutted the reef out. He didn't realise how shallow it was at the end of one of his rides, and he's okay, but he's going to need a few stitches. And we're just having a look at what heat he's in. He's probably got enough time to go and get stitched up and quickly come back. But what a warrior he's turning out to be.
Well, if he can fight through that. We've spoken about the dislocated shoulder. If he comes back with a busted face and still surfs his way through to the next round, I think we'll have to buy him a beer, Terry.
I think so.
But we had a couple of riders. Actually, the rider you see here in yellow who's winning, Emanuele Caro, you see paddling out the back there. He actually kissed the reef a bit earlier in his first heat too. He was walking around with ice in his face, and so it's very shallow out there. And it looks like a very friendly wave, but they said a lot of water moving, very shallow, sharp reef. And the guys are getting tested, and that's what they want. The guys want these waves, where performance bodyboarding can be showcased, and this is a great canvas, I believe.
It is, mate. It's a nice place to showcase high performance bodyboarding. As you said, sometimes appears to be a kind of a fatter kind of a wave, but the reality of it is that it's a thick set wave. And it's a very shallow reef, and when you drop down into these waves, it's like a little roller coaster. You get a real lot of speed out of it. Coming up in the next heat, we're going to see Ryan Hardy will take on Michael Novi, Diego Cabrera, and Matty Mayer from the USA, who's really turning a lot of heads too with his snappy brand of riding.
Yeah, Terry, I think it's great seeing the Californians here. Not enough of them on tour, but looks like Jared Houston pulling into a big one, but it's not what he wanted, as we spoke about. Those big ones push across. He bottom hand turns and skips straight out to see what else is on offer, but unfortunately, not a lot of points on offer for Jared there.
No, that's right. Well, we will wait and have a little look. Only little numbers expected to drop for this one. Thanks again to, of course, to our major sponsor, the guys at Nissan. They've got some insane cars on show here at the moment. Amaury Laverne's got his head plastered all over them. He's got a courtesy car himself, and we do appreciate the guys from Nissan getting behind the competition. It makes perfect sense to me. I mean, most of these guys drive cars. They've got mobile phones. It only makes sense that companies like telecommunication companies and big car companies would jump on this sport. It's a really good vehicle for promotion for you guys. So, all right, well, we're going to try and surge forward through, folks. Hope you're enjoying the action. Terry McKenna here, of course, along with Greg Taylor. We normally are in the office, but right now we're holding down the webcast. Manny Vargas is just taking a well-earned break. He's going to get himself some lunch so he can take us through the second half of the day.
And here's Jared Houston, big ARS. He just catches it on the right. Unfortunately, he landed the move but caught it well. I don't think they'll count that as complete, Terry, but we saw him. He's scouted out the right-hander in his first heat, and he's done it again. But look, we've got the local man throwing a reverse, but look at the hat, Terry.
Yeah, well, Maxime Gateaud just hits the old cappuccino zone on the inside there. Gets a bit frothy and gets off that one pretty quickly. So a bit of a tricky start to heat number one, round number two of the GSS leaderboard. We really, by the end of today's competition, Greg, after 2 rounds, we're going to start to see, the front runners. But here's the replay of the wave from Jared Houston, and you can see Houston going large, which is a trademark of this kid's surfing. But he did catch a rail. That's a good-looking wave. Oh, my God, and it blew out, but unfortunately, Emanuele just locked in there. He just got chandeliered at the end and couldn't get out of that thing.
Yeah, no, look, it opened up perfectly, and he heard the crowd scream. They got quite excited, and unfortunately just couldn't force his way through that barrel. But look, the waves are turning on. Like Jared's right hand wave there was great scoring potential. Unfortunately, didn't stick it, and then we saw Emanuele Caro jump on another great one, opened up, but. Unfortunately, so he couldn't make it out of there, but the waves are still on. And look, here it is here, Tez. Talk us through it.
That's right. Well, you can see Emanuele here realising this thing is going to open up, and there he goes, puts the pie in the oven. And I tell you what, that thing really kegged. Have a look at the blowout at the end of this. From front on, these waves look kind of fat, but have a look at that thing just spitting at the end. Unfortunately, he just gets locked down and can't come out at the end of it. But great little setup.
That's enough, Terry. He's sitting in first place. We saw that great open to the heat for Emanuele. He's got a 5.5, and now he's got a combined. Here's Jared Houston on a left hand. A nice big roll, and he's pushed through. It looks like he had a little bit of bouncing trouble there and just adjusted his board. But look, good sized wave, Terry. Nice big roll. At the moment, Jared's highest score is 1.5, so I'm sure you'd like to think you'd replace that one. Yeah,
well, we'll wait and see what the judges saw. There's a great little shot of the of the competitors area there. Thanks to the guys from Orange, of course, bringing us the webcast and helping out with all the internet stuff around here. They've done a good job of upping the speed that we need, and a little bit of a shot of just part of the crowd. In fact, on the other side of the camera is where the majority of the people are sitting, and I'm going to do a rough head count, Greg, and I'd say that there's about 1,000 rough heads out there.
Oh, mate, there's some beautiful heads as well. So, so it's, again, really unique culture, unique people, and then it's such a multicultural society, and you have a lot of the African influence, a lot of the European influence, and mate, there might be 1,000 rough heads, but there's a couple of the ladies. I wouldn't classify that way.
They're all beautiful. They look after themselves. So I do believe that we've got Shaggy is down there, and we're going to cross to him right now. Take it away, big guy.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Alex Uranga, winner of the last heat of round one. As you can see, he's very battered. I'm going to get Alex to tell us what happened. What happened, Alex?
Just in my second wave, I made the invert, and after to land it, when I want to leave the wave, it's really shallow and crash to my face, all the rock, and look and show me now I'm bad. That is good. I win the heat. But after the hit, I feel a little bit disoriented, and I wanna get some medic to take me the assistance here, but they say that I have to go to the hospital, and I don't have the time to go and arrive then again to the next hit. We need a hospital or no hospital, a medic in here. Yeah, it's possible to make the other boy like me, and we need something.
Well, we'll try and get something sorted out. I'll let you go and get some help. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Shaggy. And look, that's pretty amazing images there. But hang on, hold the phone. We've got Jared Houston on the right. Oh, and he's done a nice flip off that on the right, and he claims it as well. So Jared had a slow start to the heat. The previous wave, he landed a 7.15. And it looks like another score there, but Terry, going back to Alex Uranga, that's
really bad. In fact, we do have an ambulance here, and I'll go out and see Alex when I get off the webcast here and direct him in the right direction. But this is the replay for Jared Houston's last wave, and you can see this is almost a trademark move for Jared. Loves to get that stuff in the critical section, and that's crazy. Just a big backflip right in the pocket. And you can see him just claiming it. Well, claims are starting to become pretty popular on this tour. I tell you what, I've never seen more claims in 2011, but it's funny. And, these guys are showing the judges like, hey, I'm in control, I've finished, and give me the score I deserve.
Well, there's a lot at stake, Terry, isn't there? It's such a, the higher profile of the tour, and with the format, every point counts. And it's these guys' livelihood. It's their career, and the difference between winning and losing can affect the contracts they can secure and whether they can continue as professional bodyboarders. So, look, they love it, they're passionate, but it's also their job. And that they want good results, and so they can keep living the dream. And it looks like the scores for Jared's last wave have dropped, and he got a 7.9 for that backflip, and now he jumps way out in front. He's at 15. He's on another wave here, Terry. What's happening?
Yeah, well, he's just dialing these things. He's got him on a string, and you can see him just ramping it up a level in this second round of the GSS Leaderboard Series. Jared's previous wave with a 7.15. He backed that up with a 7.9. And have a look at this thing for Jake Stone. Well, he gets himself right in the pocket, and that thing shut down on that crazy little inside section that, we saw Alex Uranga take a big hit on the inside. And, we've got a bunch of numbers. We'll wait for those to lock in, and we'll put some numbers to names and give you guys the situation. Coming up next, though, heat number 2, round 2 of this Nissan Reunion Bodyboard Pro. We will see Ryan Hardy from Australia. He'll take on Michael Novi, also an Aussie bloke. Diego Cabrera, of course, one of Canary's finest. And Matty Mayer from the US of A.
Yeah, that looks exciting. Look, and very quiet start to the heat for Jake Stone, Terry. We were all quite excited about the clash of Jake and Jared, but at this stage, Jake's not having a lot of luck with the waves. But look, still 10 minutes to go, and we all know what he's capable of, so you wouldn't be booking that. But at the moment, you have Jared Houston in first place with a combined score of 15.05. And second place, the local Emanuele Caro with a 9.35 combined score. He needs a 9.55 to replace Jared is the leader. But here we have the distinctive local in the hat. Maxime Gateaud takes off in a nice wave, and he's just lining it up here. And let's see what he's got here, Terry.
Yeah, well, you can see him just waiting. He's eyed off a little something down the line, and Maxime just chucking a bit of spray. The hat's a nice touch, isn't it? I mean, I'm a hat man myself, but I don't know about in the water there, but it's a pretty cool kind of a look. And that's a bit of a flat, low-scoring wave for Maxime there, but nonetheless, gets him on the scoreboard. He's sitting in third place prior to that, and we'll wait for those scores to come through. But hope you're enjoying the webcast, folks. It is day number 1 of the main event proper. Terry McKenna and Greg Taylor taking you through what has been a very exciting day of competition.
It has, and look, we've just started the second round, and it's by the end of today, we're going to have a good indication on who can rest easy tonight, who's under a lot of pressure, and we've still got another 7 heats to go. But by the end of that, we would have completed round 2. 2 of the 3 scores would have been locked, and so there'll be some guys having a relaxing night and some guys having a stressful night. But at the moment, Jared Houston backing up his first place in the first round, well out ahead in the second round. Jake Stone opened with the first in the round 1, currently sitting in 4th position, work cut out ahead of him, but 8.5. But here he is, and bang, he fires straight back.
Well, let's see if he comes out of the froth there. You can see him just kicking hard.
Yes.
And, well, he does. He gives the judges a little wave. You will kind of lose a couple of little increments there because, the judges do like to see you land and, come straight out of the suds. He got a little tied up there behind him. That's a good shot with Emanuele, of course. Caro sitting in second spot at the moment in yellow. That's a good-looking wave. And Caro, bam, big ARS, landed back in the pocket. And unfortunately come unglued at the end.
Yeah, and then it's Jared Houston starting to turn on. Can he get out of there? Unfortunately not. I don't think he's out of there, but we had 3 good waves there. Jake's done open up with a huge invert, and then we had Emanuele Caro bust a nice move. Unfortunately not complete. And then Jared Houston pulled one. So plenty of action. We'll wait for the scores to drop, but at the moment, Jake Stone's sitting highest score of a 1.4, so there's no doubt he's going to replace that one. And let's see how far, but he's currently in the combo situation to move into first place. So let's see what he can get. But 7.5 minutes to go, Terry.
Yeah, that's right.
Still anyone's heat.
I think Jake's going to get some pretty good scores here. We're going to go back to the replay, and you can see that nice invert landed pretty well. But what happened was right on that M zone, right where the lip hits the flats, I guess, is where Jake kind of got a little tied up. He did end up kicking his way out of that thing, and he's going to get something around the sort of mid-6 range once it comes through, and that might put him into third spot. Right now, though, Jared Houston, South Africa, you can see him sitting there pretty content, really. Jared's holding on to a 7.15 and a 7.9. In second spot is, looks like, second spot is Emanuele Caro. There's the next heat on screen at the moment. Yeah. So Hardy, Novi, Cabrera and Maya. So Emanuele Caro sitting in second spot, needing a 9.55. A lot of fresh air between first and second. Jake Stone in third, only now chasing a 2.5. Jake got a 6.85 for that last wave. And Maxime Gateaud, you can see him on the leaderboard, folks, lingering in 4th place, chasing down a 6.8 average.
Well, look, that last wave of Jake Stone scored a 6.85, and deservedly so. He landed one of those in the first round as well, and he's firing, but just not enough to sneak into second spot. But with just on 6 minutes remaining here, he needs an 8.25 to take the win. Jake's very capable of that, but only a 2.5 to jump into second place. And look, on the back of his first place in round 1, I think if Jake was to even secure a second place, that'd get him onto 10 points, and he'd be one of those guys who'd probably rest pretty easy tonight, sitting on 10 points after 2 rounds. But a lot to happen, Terry. Still over 5 minutes to go.
That's right. Well, you saw the next heat preview. Hardy, Novi, Cabrera, Maya. Let's just have a quick browse through some of the other heats coming your way, folks. In heat number 3, McCarthy, Intruder, Visto, and it looks like our other reunion guy, Jerome, will be out there, back in the water. Heat number 4, Jeff Hubbard, Magno Oliveira, Sergio Alonso, and Jon Florentine. GT will take on BP, Alex Uranga, Charlie Chaplet in heat number 13 on the program. Number 6 in the second round, we'll see Amori, Kingy, Jeff Denui, and it looks like Pierre Buffier. Pierre-Louis Costes, Stewart, Sam Bennett, Wes Fisher in 7, and Winchester Singer Hubbard, Dave Hubbard that is, and Elliot Morales in the last one, but right now yellow.
Emanuele Caro, he's taken off, and unfortunately good speed, but the wave just shuts down on him, and look, he's looking for a 9.55 to jump into first place. I don't think you'll get it for that one, but it said still 5 minutes to go, and let's see what else is out there. But looks like it's a little bit flat. But at the moment, as I said, but yeah, you're right, Terry. Some exciting heats coming up, and starting with the next one, Hardy versus Novi, and throw in Cabrera, and then the man from Cali, Matt Meyer. Plenty of talent on show there, and as I said, everyone's favourite rider, Ryan Hardy. I'm sure that the numbers will jump when he gets on screen. And look, he surfed well in the first round, but I think you'd like to at least secure a first or second so he can sleep a little bit easier tonight. So let's see what happens. But as we said, still 4 minutes to go with this heat. First place from South Africa in the red, Jared Houston with a combined score of 15.05. Emanuele Caro sitting in second place with a 9.35. He needs 9.55 to jump into first. But ominously placed there in third place, Jake Stone. He's sitting on 8.25, but he's got a 6.85. He's looking to replace a 1.4, Terry. So anything can happen with that. And 2.5 would be his first aim.
Yeah.
And here he goes paddling for one now.
Yeah, well, speak of the devil. Devil appears. In fact, it looks like a priority situation. There was Maxime Gateaud had priority over Jake Stone. We saw in just an early shot there, Stoney had a look at that one, but clearly Blue had priority over White. So we're coming down to about 3.5 minutes remaining. It is, of course, day number one. And Jared Houston, of course, in his first round of competition, finished first with 13.15. Third place was Emanuele. He got third in his first heat. In round number one, Jake Stone finished first on 16.15. That was one of the highest totals of that round. And in the blue singlet, Maxime, he finished fourth. So that gives you a bit of an idea of the the scores and the places leading into this round.
Yeah, but as you can see Jake Stone getting a little bit anxious out there. There's still 3 minutes to go. He knows he only needs a 2.5 to jump up into second, and scratching around for some waves. It's just so much pressure with this point score system. And he's very capable of getting the score, but he just needs the wave. And with these conditions, they're very testing, and you can't really guarantee, but he's having a good look at this one, Terry.
Yeah, well, Jake Stone, and well, was that a little error there from Jakey? We'll wait and see. He's only chasing a 2.5, and I've got a feeling it was, but with 2 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock, probably enough time to get back out there and chase that 2.5 that he's chasing to go to second. That would give him another 2 points on the leaderboard, and that could be the difference at the end of the day.
We spoke about the pressure, Terry, and Jake showed there's a lot of pressure, and as you indicated, maybe a bit of a tactical error. He jumped on that set wave knowing he only needed a 2.5, but the opportunity wasn't there. He looks like he just got a 1.0 for that wave, so he now has less than 2 minutes to get back out there and try to just find something to at least get a 2.5. And you can see the riders feel the pressure. It's quite easy for us sitting here watching it on screen, thinking you should have done this, you should have done that. But when you're out there, it's a completely different cup of tea.
Yeah, that's right. You got to remember we do have a 4-man priority system in place here at the moment, folks, on the GSS series this year, and it's working very well. There's one of a nice little shot of one of our jet ski security guys. And a little underwater shot from Seamus Makem, who's one of the best in the business. But yeah, so not only did he not get the score required, Jake Stone, with a 1 point average on that last wave, there's Houston, who is just going to duck out the back of that one. But he also surrendered his second priority position at that time and goes back to the end of the line now. So he's got time is the enemy, really, for Jake Stone and Maxime Gateaud, both those guys chasing scores. Maxime needing a 6.8. And Jake Stone trying to hunt down a puny little 2.5. That looks like him on screen at the moment. Is he going to be able to get a little something on the inside?
2.5. Oh, but look out the back. Oh, hang on. Maxime Gateaud's pulled in a beautiful barrel, and he throws a little spin out of it as well, using his local knowledge. He's found, to me, one of the best waves in the heat. But he got under the thing. But look, he's in a combo situation. He needs a 6.8. Here he goes, takes off, he scoops under this one, Tez, and so he needs a 6.8 to jump into second, and that's a nice barrel. He gets a nice little cover up, and he comes out and spins his way out of it. Very well ridden. Said he's been very quiet. We've spoken more about his hat than his surfing, but he's letting his surfing doing the talking now. And let's see what the judges think of that one, Terry. But 10 seconds to go, it could change the whole situation.
Well, it's going to be very close. I mean, he didn't get much after it. It was a nice little tube. Judges looking for kind of, I guess the big score is really coming from technical manoeuvres. But there's a hooter in the background, folks, that will signal the end of heat number 1, round number 2, here at the Nissan Reunion Bodyboard Pro. Just waiting for that last score to drop in for Maxime Gateaud. Unfortunately, not enough, 5.05 when the dust settled, folks. It was Jared Houston out in the lead, ahead of Jake Stone, who got a 2.55. Greg needed a 2.5. So
Wow.
we've seen a couple of, like, Amori did the same thing in the previous heat, where he got the score required. In third place was Emanuele, Caro, and fourth place was our local bloke, Maxime Gateaud. Well, there he is on screen. Another great victory there for our young South African, Jared Houston. I'm going to slip out of the booth, Greg, and bring in back in Manny Vargas. Enjoy the rest of the day, folks, as heat number 2, round number 2 gets underway.
Yeah, there we have some footage. Thanks, Terry. And we have some footage of Jared Houston. Looks like he's in a bit of pain there. I'm not sure if he's trod on an urchin or what he's done, but he opted to go right, which we've spoken about how shallow it is there. And he looks in all sorts of pain, so let's hope he's okay. But yeah, it looks like he's come a cropper on the rocks, and he's struggling his way back into shore. He's got 2 wins, so he's very comfortable. He's in on 12 points, so it's safe to say he's through to round 4. But let's hope he hasn't picked up an injury, because he's surfing really well today, and we want to see the best guys in full fitness doing their thing. So fingers crossed. But there we have Seamus Mackham out on the jet ski. He'll be quite wary. He said they got washed up across the rocks a bit earlier this morning, so I'm sure they're on full alert, making sure that doesn't happen again. But hopefully we can get some amazing footage for those guys. But this heat started, and we've seen in the white, Michael Novi's picked up a nice one, bouncing his way across the face, looking for a section. And as I said, these bigger ones always a little bit trickier. Let's see what he can do. Oh, he finds his eye in the pocket, very nice, and comes out of that, but and rolls it in the end. So nice long way for Michael Novi. He's done extremely well. Let's see what the judges think. But in this heat, he's up against Ryan Hardy, Diego Cabrera, and Matt Meyer. So we have 2 Aussies, a guy from the Canary Islands, and a Cali boy. And talking of Cali boys, back in the hot seat, Manny Vargas.
Matt Meyer holding it down for the U.S. Continental Riders. Matt Meyer making the trek all the way to Reunion Island, and I guarantee you he won't regret it, because not only is he in this heat, here we go, up and running. Diego Cabrera, live action, coming into the inside. What's he going to do? Trying to piece something together, and there's a nice extended roll on the inside. So the last heat, I believe Alex Uranga.
Yeah, it's a couple of heats back, yeah.
Okay, I was down there scoping out some of the stuff that was going down, and he was in the medic box, the medics area. Here's another look of Diego's nice reverse carve off the top right there, and comes to the inside section in yellow, Diego Cabrera from the Canary Islands. Piecing together a nice wave right here. So Diego Cabrera adding to his score sheet, nice extended roll to finish off. But I was talking to Alex Uranga, and I was talking to somebody.
Thanks, guys. This is Manny. I'm here with Jared, winner of Heat 9 of round 2. Congratulations, 2 wins in the pocket. You caught a lot of rights. Tell us your theory on catching the rights.
Yeah, well, coming to this event, I actually just wanted to go left. Just wanted to test myself on the lefts, and but today we arrived and the rights are going off, so I thought, why not surf my strengths? And I got a couple of good rights, and I used them.
Nice, you got 12 points now. You're sitting comfortable for round 3. Can we expect to see some big moves, some all or nothing moves?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, the next heat the pressure will be off of it, but obviously I still want to try and get as good a seeding as possible. So I'll be surfing a smart heat, but also trying to go as hard as I can.
Congratulations. And hang on, your backflip.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I was just doing like a nice bottom turn, and I was trying to look for a bowl. Kind of started to close out, and I thought I was a little bit far back on my board to do inverts, so I went for a backflip. I feel pretty confident doing them on closeouts as well, so yeah, it projected me nicely, and I managed to land it, so I was stoked.
Money in the bank. Back to you, Manny.